Good morning. So I am getting on because the only people that ever really I get attention from are usually you guys, my Yin and Yang Mom community, and I did not post anything about the lovely clown that made an appearance out of the sky in my backyard on Saturday. I did post, I believe, on my personal page, and I posted in We Live in Bergen County, and I posted it in the Harrington Park Moms page because, and if you guys want to ask questions, you can. And I love it. Everybody was waiting for me to come on this morning because everybody's hopping on. I only posted in those pages, and real quick, I'm just going to give you the quick story. And I was going to get on my phone and actually video this Facebook Live from my phone so that I could show you where it came out of the sky, but a local TV station is coming over here to interview me about it. And the only reason that I'm doing the interview is so that people can see my backyard and not think I'm a total, complete whack job. Because only my friends and only you guys know how totally sane I am, and the rest of the world thinks I'm crazy, okay? So you'll see it later on. It was on the freaking radio this morning. They wrote 2 articles about it in 2 Bergen County papers, and the Daily Mail, which I haven't even said anything about to anyone except for on the phone. The Daily Mail overseas wrote a story, and the Sun emailed me this morning to write a story. So this whole Pennywise thing is just totally turned into a total shit show. But I'll tell you really quick the quick story. So we were in our backyard, and we have our pool, and our house is elevated up, and then we have property on the other side of our pool that goes down. Like it's not all level. We have a big yard next to our house that butts up against the highway on the border of like Harrington Park, Norwood, closer. So we don't have any neighbors on that side of us, and we have one neighbor on the other side of us, and we're all covered by trees, and they're a very nice, quiet couple, and they have no kids, no animals, no nothing, and they weren't even in the backyard when this whole thing happened. That is it. That's all the neighbors we have. So if you looked at our yard, we have like a tree line of like, there's a bazillion trees. And if you were, our house is, I don't even know how to explain this. So if our house is here, you know, and our pool is here, and then say the fence and where we were sitting was on this side, we are facing our house and are facing our yard. So we're sitting there having a discussion about all things wonderful in relationships, and I'm being sarcastic about that because, you know, we all have our struggles in our relationship. We were having a discussion, no yelling, no nothing. We were just having a discussion, and we're just sitting back talking, and I'm looking out into the sky, and all of a sudden this doll, I didn't know it was a doll, came flying out of the sky at an angle, did not hit any of the trees in my yard. And my fence was here. Let's just pretend my fence was here. It came out of nowhere and like over my fence and fell down. Didn't hit any trees until it hit the pine tree right by my fence. Hit the ground, walked. I go, what the heck was that? I was like, because it clearly like was something heavy, and it didn't just fall out of the tree. It came flying in. It did not float. If you see anything saying that anything floated into my yard, nothing floated into my yard. Okay, we're not like floating within a balloon or anything. It just came flying into the yard. So I go open the gate, and the thing's like it's on its belly, and I'm like, oh, it looks like a dog toy or a kid toy or something. It was like yay big. It wasn't big at all. And I bent over, and I turn it over, and if you guys have seen the article, which I should probably post here, it was an Pennywise doll, something that they sell. We researched it, something that they sell at Hot Topic. I turned it over, and then it had, somebody wrote in Sharpie across the forehead, and it looked like some sort of culty satanic symbols. And yeah, I went, and I instantly, like, after I turned it hands off, was like, oh my God. I was like, X. I was like, come over here. I'm like, he comes over, and I'm like, what the F is this? And he looked at it, and he was just like, oh, he was like, what the hell is that? And he picked it up. I would not touch this thing. So fast forward, we're Googling everything we possibly can to find out where this thing actually came from, what store it came from. We were Googling to find out if there was some sort of crazy promotion going on because the It movie, the It 2 is coming out, which I didn't even know there was an It 2 movie until we went and saw a movie, saw John Wick like a week and a half ago, and I'm like, oh, there's another It movie, and I do not like horror movies at all. I didn't even see the first It movie until it came out on HBO. I will not waste my money for horror movies because they scared the shit out of me. When I was 12, I saw the first Chucky movie, and that was enough to send me over the edge, and I had reoccurring nightmares about Chucky the doll, probably for the following 30 years. I'm not kidding. I hate horror movies. So we're Googling, we're trying to figure out what the writing is on the head. I was like seriously thinking about whether or not I should post this thing on Facebook. The only reason I posted it on Facebook on Saturday afternoon was because I really wanted to get down to the bottom of where this thing came from. And I believe I posted it on after the police came. No, I'm sorry. I posted, I believe, on my personal page first, and a couple of the moms said that I should report it to the police, which we had been talking about, but there was some back and forth about whether or not we should do that because the police will think we're totally, completely crazy because we live in a small town, right? So a couple of the moms said, you should report it anyway. I said, you know what? You're right. God forbid. I don't report it. Something else pops up around town. I go missing in the middle of the night while Alex is at work, or my house gets burned down. I don't know. I just figured, you know what? I better call. Too bad. So sad if people think we're crazy. So I called. I did not call 911. I called the number. I would not call 911. I would use 911 properly. I called the police. And I talked to this dispatcher, and you guys know how I am, and this is exactly how I sounded when I was talking to him. I was just like, so we had something crazy happen today, and I felt like I really should report it just so you guys have it on record, explain what happened. They're like, we're going to send an officer over. They sent an officer over. They sent 2 officers over. 1 officer scanned our yard, and the other one came up. So they came up. They looked at this thing because Alex had moved it. I would not touch it. And we were sitting there, and the cops came around and looked, and the first cop that came was like, oh my God. He's like, that's really freaking creepy. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So they took a picture. We looked around, and we told them where it came from, and they're like, yeah, that's nuts. Like, we have no idea where that would have came from. And we were trying to come up with a logical explanation as to how this thing ended up in the yard. Again, it's not like they're like house. Somebody could have launched it. There's barely any trees. We don't have any neighbors. We have 1 neighbor, wasn't there, lots of trees. We're trying to figure it out. So we're like, did an animal drop it? I don't know. Like, the cop was like, was there an animal? And we just came up with the possibility that there was a drone, because there was no other way, unless somebody was far away from the street with like a potato gun cannon that could have shot this thing into our yard. Like, it was so bizarre and so unrealistic. You would have just been, and if you guys, I'm assuming probably 95% of you who read this story or are watching this right now would have been totally wigged out too. Like, you would not want it to have been home that night. So yes, I did stay home. I posted on Facebook because I figured if I posted on Facebook that someone might know something about it, and nobody did. It turned into a really funny stream of comments on We Live in Bergen County, and then that's when the paper saw it and they picked it up, and now it's turned into a total circus media clown show, and it's pretty amusing. I'm sort of regretting to a certain extent that I posted about it, but it is what it is. The whole story is the truth, and the world needs a little bit of humor, which this is bringing to the masses here in the Jersey and New York area, and then also overseas in England and online. So that is the story, the tale of it all. They interviewed me, and you guys know I own a Reiki office, and I'm into crystals, and I clear my house with sage. And it was funny. I mean, I literally took a huge stick of sage that I have, and I'll even show it to you. I have a stick of sage. And I'm so glad you guys love me and you don't think I'm crazy. So I have my stick of sage, which was like this big. I lit this thing up, and it was smoking, and I walked around my whole property and smoked my property, because you know what? I don't go to church, but I do believe in good forces and dark forces, and I do believe in the universe. So you just never know. You just want to be safe, right? Just want to be safe. I'm sure that some of you who may not be into crystals and sage and clearing your stuff may have done something different, like walked around your house and done, the sign of the cross, for those of you who do go to church, because it was really, really creepy. And you know what? There is some creepy stuff that goes on around the world nowadays. And so number one, humor for everybody. Number two, watch out for Pennywise dolls. If you like see anything with crazy symbols on it, please let me know. I will post. Let's see, did anybody actually, I'm just trying to see if anybody commented. Nobody commented. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you don't all think I'm nuts. It's pretty funny. I did clarify to everybody that I do a lot of community service, and I'm not nutso, so we'll see what happens and comes out of this whole thing. Maybe I'll get a sponsorship from the people who filmed and wrote the It movie. I don't know. That would be cool, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sure this whole thing will go away in the next 48 hours. Thank God. All right, so that's what happened. If anybody saw anything, you heard it here. I'm telling 100% the truth of the story. I am not over-exaggerating whatsoever or embellishing. You guys just know I'm a very lively person, so of course I'm going to tell the story in a humorous, lively sort of way, but it was not humorous when it happened. I will tell you, no one wants to see that, whether it was placed on your porch and somebody ding dong ditched, right? Ding dong and took off and left it there. If it was in your mailbox or anywhere on your property, not a cool thing to come across. But coming out of the sky, witnessing the whole thing, and thank God Alex was with me, because if I had seen this thing by myself, everybody would have thought I was nuts. So I'm glad I had a witness. Thank you. Because that would have been really bad. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go. If you guys have any questions about it, great. Please, if you feel like sending a comment telling me I'm absolutely crazy, don't, because many other people think I'm already crazy. I'd very much appreciate it if we kept them to a minimum, but otherwise, yes, it's always lively here in my life. So have a wonderful day. I will post the article up. I have to read the article that they wrote across the pond, and I'm hoping that it's like 100% accurate, because I have to tell you, I feel for people who are famous. And I feel for them who have shit on social media and in the media and online, the crap that people say about them, because just from the article in the NewJersey.com online, the crazy stuff that people say that they have no idea about, like about rich people problems in Bergen County. And then the fact that we're not all rich in Bergen County. I am not rich. There again, big story about why I drive a BMW, but we rent our house. I am not rich. People making nasty comments about like how I must get alimony and child support from my ex-husband, like just nasty shit. So I'm not even gonna read that stuff. And this is just proof to me again. And thank God I have thick skin. And I tell you guys this all the time. Don't pay attention to the nasty stuff that's on Facebook that anybody says about anybody else or to you. We should just ignore it and stay here in our nice little mommy bubble where it's safe and we are nice to each other. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day, and pray for me that this whole thing just goes away very quickly. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh, wait. So strange. I would have been freaked out too. Thank you. I know every time somebody says that, I'm like, thank you. And I was really happy because the police officers and even Alex, everybody was creeped out, even though they're big manly guys, especially the guys with the guns. They were really funny. They would not touch this thing. They would not touch it. We're like, here. They're like, how much does it weigh? We're like, it's not heavy at all. It's light. It's like a dog toy. Here. And he's like, I'm not touching that thing. And then we're like, do you want to take it with you to the police station? And they're like, nope. And they're like, you know what? After we're gone, I would destroy that thing. And I'm like, absolutely. And that's how it ended up in the fire pit thing. And I burned it, and I could not burn it because it has flame retardant on it. So I tried to light it up with a lighter just to be safe, to get rid of any weird energy that might be surrounding it. Tried to light it, couldn't light it. We couldn't find our lighter fluid or anything. And I'm like, can I just put oil on it? Like, so I went and got my big bottle of olive oil. It was putting olive oil on it, trying to light it. It would not light. So then finally I went and got newspaper, and then I lit it up, and I lit this thing on fire, and everybody's like, well, you don't have it anymore. I'm like, I really don't care. I'm like, I wanted it off my property. It was very, very spooky. So, okay. So that's that. I'll link the article, and you can feel free to comment. I will talk to you guys later. Love you. Thank you for hanging out with my craziness. I will talk to you soon. Bye.